Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, I can still see we're on an angle. Let's hope that works. Okay. Hello, welcome to the Mad About You YouTube channel. My name is Madeleine. I use she and her pronouns, and I come to you today on the land of the Kabi Kabi people of the Sunshine Coast. And in the spirit of reconciliation, I'd like to acknowledge them as the traditional custodians of this land where I come to today, where I craft, I live, and I work, and I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Hello, it is technically, or it is the 2nd of January 2024. Oh my goodness, where did the last year go? This is the December episode. I thank you so much for being here. If you're a returning viewer and if this is your first episode, a very warm welcome. It is a miserable day outside in southeast Queensland. We have some flood warnings going. It's raining, but I have found a room. There is some okay light and the house is quiet-ish. So let's get underway. This is technically, I don't know if we're episode 67 or 68, can't remember. But this is my December wrap up for the month of December. And I will show you a few things. How this usually works is I will show any finished objects, some works in progress, anything new, acquisitions, stash enhancement that's come in. And then we talk about knit-alongs or blather, life update, knit and natter sort of thing. So this is going to be the December wrap up. I may, depending on how we go for time, do a everything I knit in 2023 video, but we'll see how we go. So I have one finished object to share today. As most of you know, or let's start with other places you can find me online: Madbell on Ravelry and Mad About You with full stops on Instagram. You can see that, hopefully will come up on the screen here. So yeah, that's where else you can find me online. I am sporadic at podcasting, sporadic at posting. I've been posting quite a bit lately. So yeah. Where was I going with that tangent? Okay, if you followed me online, you know that I went overseas on holidays from the 2nd of December till the 22nd, and I didn't do a whole lot of crafting. I was backpacking-ish. I traveled with a backpack, but my tour ended up being less kind of backpacking, more just to travel. And I went to Vietnam, Cambodia, and I finished with a couple of days in Thailand. So while I crafted, while I traveled, I knit a pair of socks. These are the ones I finished first. So the yarn here is Cola Girl Collective, and it is it's a 4-ply sock weight yarn, self-striping. The colorway was called Luna. I have the tag still, but it's not with me in here. And so I just knit on Magic Loop, which at the moment is my preferred way to knit socks. Weird. I say weird because for so long it was a 9-inch circular convert, but I feel like I might try the 9 inches again. They just really hurt my hands last year in 2023 when I was knitting, the only one pair I tried to knit. So these were a 2.25 millimeter needle. I cast on with 64 stitches, and I knit a heel flap and gusset, which I guess I knit 6 pairs of socks last year, sorry, but I think I hand knit 3, and I did 3 on my knitting machine. And I think the 2 others that I knit had fish lips kiss heel or some sort of a cut in kind of a short row heel, that's the word. But these ones I did just a standard heel flap and gusset. I got that pattern because I couldn't remember how to do it from a Summerly Knits. And then this side is the neater side, so I will show you this. I love this part of the sock, and I feel like the stripes, the continuation was pretty good actually, considering it was self-striping and I had no idea how that would go. And then I tried a new to me toe. I have put the notes on my Ravelry page. So Ravelry is accessible for you. In the photos of this pattern on my completed projects, you will see, I just saw it on Instagram. I screenshot it but didn't actually get who the maker was who shared that on their story. So it's a left and right sock. So this is the left sock. So it was interesting, like I got to where I wanted to put the toe in, and you basically just like decrease on one side every second row, I think. And then I got to like this bit, obviously, whatever, I can't remember how many centimeters that was. And then I decreased on both sides, and then you Kitchener at the end. And I think I Kitchenered like 12 stitches maybe, where usually I'd do like 8 or 10 on a fully rounded toe. So this is the second sock. I tried my best to make them the same, but I cast on 3 times. I actually cast on this second sock in Cambodia. So the first one's like I knit through Vietnam sort of, and then we had a long bus trip between Cambodia and Vietnam. So I knit a toe on this one, and then I cast on, and then this whole sock was knit in Cambodia and Thailand. So cast on, tried to make it similar, but I tried 3 times, and I think like I got 2 rows versus 3 rows that I was knitting from just a gobstopper ball of yarn. I had written down the measurements, so I actually think, because this sock is a little bit longer in the leg, because I wanted the stripes to match. So I have a couple of extra rows on this cuff, and then we end up with a shorter leg, but I think we start the decreases at the same point, and then they fairly well match as well. This sock in the gusset decreases is a little bit neater because I came across a trick, only slightly, that on the SSK side, when you come back around to knit the plain row, if you knit that decrease through the back loop, it tightens it slightly. I think it worked marginally. And then I did the other toe, but I feel like I stuffed this up somehow, and it's a little bit longer in the toe boxy bit, but that's just for me, so I really don't mind. I never thought I would talk so long about it till I suck, but here we are. So yeah, I bought this yarn at Fiberfest in South Australia back in 2021, when I went to visit my friend Ali, and I met Marina for the first time. So I actually just, Robin, my Canberra knitting friend, and I, we meet up for yarn festivals basically, because we don't get to see each other very often since I moved back here. So we traveled to South Australia together. There's a vlog or a YouTube podcast video about that. It's like June or July, maybe August 2021, if you want to head into back catalogue. Oh my god, my face. So yes, here we go. Bought this yarn there. The ball was $37.50 because it's self-striping yarn and it's wound in a gobstopper. And I think they're exactly 70 grams. I weighed them the other day. Sorry, I keep touching my face, but it is like so itchy with wool, I think, or maybe my cat fur. Anyway, these socks, very cool. Won't probably wear them till winter because it's still warm here in Southeast Queensland. So that's my only finished object. I have some works in progress. So I won't show you that one because I've made no work on it, but I will show you in the next video. I have basically, I had 2 yarn advent calendars this year. The first one I bought from my lovely friend Susan from Asheneve Designs. It was called 19, it was like 50s glamour advent calendar. So it was pinks and blues, and it is a beautiful advent calendar. I will put a photo in here because I don't have them all with me. I don't know what I'm going to make with that yet. I've got a couple of ideas percolating in my head, probably a blanket, because it just seems so, I just want to use all of the colours up. So that'll probably be sometime during the year, we'll knit on that. So that was beautiful. That has not been touched yet because I really don't know. I want to be intentional with the yarn and I don't know what I want to do with that. The next project, the next advent kit was actually gifted to me by the people, by Sarah at Daffodil Road Artesian Yarns. So Sarah is a dyer who lives in Tasmania, but very soon we'll be moving to Queensland. And so she gifted this to me in exchange for posting. At the time I said I wasn't sure about bloggers, but thought I would. And then my trip to Vietnam came up about 6 weeks before Advent. So I had to message her and be like, I'm actually going to be traveling, so I will do a post a day about it and post it to my stories. And my travels, I started for 3 days making reels about every day, and then I just was like in the moment too much, so I didn't. But if you'd like to see my daily reveals, you can find that over on Instagram. I got home on the 22nd. I did no knitting, just did the washing, you know. And then on the 23rd, I cast on the Euphorbia wrap, which is by Amber O'Brien, Amber just makes wonderful patterns in general, but she also, I've knit quite a few of hers at this point. I bought a lot more than I've knit too. She makes really great Advent patterns. So if you are next year, if you want to think about this, you'd see her Advent store. I think she has a bundle. I also have a bundle of like suggested Advent patterns in my favorites on Ravelry, and in there are probably 7 or 8 Amber O'Brien patterns. So I'm knitting the Euphorbia wrap. So Sarah gifted me this yarn. I opened it as a daily reveal. I took all the photos before I left. And so I decided to knit the wrap. I will put a photo on the screen here. And I got this really cute marker from Ash and Eve Designs. It just has an R and there's another one, a W for right and wrong. So this is the wrap here. I have knit, I think I'm on color 15. I actually can't see you right now, so I'm not sure how well this is being shown. But this is the right side. My tension was pretty, like, not great in terms of the stretchiness of this to begin with. And I cast it on 4 times, I think, before being successful, and even then I made a mistake. So the pattern is supposed to have a lovely I-cord edging on both sides. I have it on one side until about color 6, when I realized that I was slipping with the yarn in front on the side where I was supposed to be slipping with the yarn in back. So for the first 1, 2, 3 colors, I don't have an I-cord, and then I realized I reread the pattern. But the pattern's super, I've memorized it. I think there's like a few sections, it's a paid for pattern. So there's a few sections of increasing, so you get to a certain number of stitches. And then once you get there, you knit this pattern. And so I think it's showing this yarn really well. I think I think I'm up to 15. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, color 15. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, have I done something wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm ready for the new color. Did I already trim that? Oh, I did. Whoopsies. Okay, so I am up to color 16. I'm really hoping to have this finished this week. I want it done by the end of the first week of January, so I really need to get a wriggle on with my knitting. I'm participating in a WIP. It's an Australian Discord on the server. I will put the details for the knit along down the bottom in the description bar. Anything I talk about I will link to below if it's linkable. So it's like 3 months. Quite a few different people are doing it, but we had discussed it in the Discord page about whipping down, basically getting rid of knits, getting knits off the needles. So I would love to have that done in early January, and I have one other project, but I will talk about that in my other video. So this is the only thing I'm working on really at the moment, because I love it and I want it done so I can cast on new things for 2024 for this year. So January is a getting things finished month. I have a pair of socks I need to finish. I want to finish this, and I think that's my only like active works in progress that I have that are going to be finished with me where I'm in my living situation right now. So the next 3 colors, I'll show you. It has, I have one more work in progress, I lied. So basically it's only using like 12 grams of my the 20 gram mini, because I got DK weight. So these are the last 3 colors. They are finished, and once I've done this I just put them in my box I got from Kmart. I don't have it to show you, but if you look at my last video or the thumbnail even, you can see. And so that's going to get me into the next project, which I will show you now. I haven't really worked on it, or I haven't worked on it at all since I got back from Vietnam, but I have one I think currently halfway or nearly done actually. So I am knitting, these are leftovers from my Louie and Lola Advent from 2020, and I'm knitting hexagons. Oh, this is an absolute mess. I should have finished this before I left. I think I cast this on the last day of school when I was waiting for, no children turned up for my class. I only had one class in period 2 and no kids were there that day, and then we had an assembly and then we finished. So I was surprised, and then I ended up with a free 50 minutes. So here we are. So they're pretty cute. Don't know how many I finished now. I keep forgetting, but I've got them here to show you. So I mentioned them on the last episode. I'm just doing a couple of rounds in a plain yarn, either Nundle Woolen Mills 4-ply held double or a Bendigo Woolen Mills in an almond colour. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 finished, 13 nearly done. They're all Louie and Lola except for this one here, which is a walk yarn I bought in Amsterdam from Stephen and Penelope, and that was my, oh no, this is not the right one. It's got too many rounds of the white, so I've only done 11. Anyway, it's a fun project. I'm hoping to finish it this year. My kind of goal to myself is to knit 2 of these a week. Optimistic, considering of all the other plans I have for myself, but anyway, here we are. So that is it for works in progress. Sorry, just excuse me while I itch my face. I think I will do a separate year in review what I made video. So what's next? Acquisitions. So I was not at the acquisitions, I was just at me in general losing my mind about what to do. I didn't bring anything into stash that's interesting other than a couple of pairs of needles just before I went on holiday. But my Secret Santa from work actually got me they got me a board game that I really wanted. And then I just put on my profile, I like knitting. I still don't know who my Secret Santa was, but they were wonderful. So I got this key progress keeper. It's handmade by Catkin. I will show you that because it's got a QR code. So they are it's Caitlin Ross, and Instagram is handmade.by-catkin. Sorry. So details there, and then also same person, the spiral stitch mark as well. So it's like she's written a note. Oh, okay. There is one of 4 people who are named Michelle who got to be my Secret Santa. Thank you so much for your order and supporting my small store. Hope your gift is well received. Thank you so much, Caitlin. So cute. I love them. I didn't take them out of their packaging and put them in my stitch marker section because I did want to share them on the podcast before I did that. So I'll pop them back in here. This came in really cute packaging too, so well done. And yeah, definitely go check out Caitlin's store. And so yeah, it came in a pouch and then in this. All right. I am the world's worst podcast knit along host. We had a lot of people knit the half and half wrap this year. We had 138 people, 139 people join the knit along. I think I checked mid-year and like in September, I think 20 people had finished the cowl. I have drawn the winners months ago, can't find the video, so I need to find the video and get the prizes out, which I will do before I go back to work in the next week. So I will pop that in here somewhere probably, or do its own thing. Yeah, life just really overtook me. So thank you to everyone who participated. It was really lovely to, and still actually see people finishing their half and half wraps. I got tagged in a post on Instagram yesterday about someone finishing their half and half wrap. So that was really great. I'm just looking now to see if I can find that tag. All right, yeah, so 2 people, one's still, so Zoe Lou Knits is still knitting on it, and Adriella KV and More mentioned me in a comment, and theirs is in a different language, so let's translate. Yay, finished. So that's really cool here. So I will need to message back. Anyway, draw the prizes. I'm sorry, this is such a shit fight ramble, but all right, we are at 20-ish minutes already. So with that little kerfuffle, I will do a separate video with my half and half wrap winners. Probably do that tomorrow. Oh my gosh, words. Pretty big news in the last one, changing schools, whatever. It's not whatever, it's quite stressful actually. But yes, so I'm back from my holiday. I spent 3 weeks, or just shy of 3 weeks away. I had like 10 days in Vietnam, possibly, maybe 11, 6 days in Cambodia, and I had 3 days in Thailand. Does that equal 20? I don't know. I don't think so. Anyway, started my trip on the 2nd of December, flew into Hanoi in the north. And then had a day by myself, met my tour group, made a really lovely friend from Switzerland, Christiana. She was my roommate for the time period, so that was lovely. We had an interesting, it was a small group, only 7 of us, 2 couples, 3 singlies. Not everyone was single, but like individual solo travelers. And we were all like, I'm nearly 32, Chris is 29. Oh my god, it was her birthday the other day and I forgot to send her a message. Shit. And then Martin, who was 27, I think. So anyway, interesting dynamic. We had a really fun time. So we started in Hanoi, went to Halong Bay, sailed around, kayaked, saw these beautiful limestone, like, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is really stunning. Then we went into a cave the next day, which was interesting. And then walked through the cave, and then came back to Hanoi, did a food tour, which was was it the best food tour I did? I think it was the best food tour I did. Yeah, so it was lovely. I tried some new to me dishes, like a pancake that was like wrapped in a rice paper roll. I really need to look that up because that would be really delicious to make here. I tried this dish called bun cha, which was so delicious and delightful. It was so yummy. And it was served with like green papaya and garlic and chili. It was a noodle dish and it was just so warming and lovely. And then we went to, caught a train overnight to a place called Hue, which is in the middle. And the train ride was interesting. There were cockroaches in our cabin. I didn't see them until the morning, but Chris was trying to explain to me that it was a cockroach at like 1:30 and I had no idea what she was saying. And then I killed it the next day when I found it. She showed me and I got it with my trusty thong, so good. And then we were in Hue for just a day. We did a motorbike tour. Not everyone did. I did a motorbike tour with Chris, and we basically went on the same tour of the Citadel and a few other key areas that other people in our group did, but we got to travel to the places by motorbike, and then we got an extra like hour and a half, I think, on the tour, so that was good. And then from Hue, we went down to Hoi An, which is also like in the middle, slightly, so it's in the top of South Vietnam. And that was, if you want to get stuff tailored, that's the place to do it. That was really fun. It was more of a chilled couple of days. And then we went to a place called Barna Hills, and it's totally Instagrammable. You may have seen it. It's like the golden hands, or it's these 2 big stone hands in the top of a mountain. It's quite expensive to go, and you ride a gondola, I don't know how far, very far, up into the clouds. And there's it's kind of like a Disneyland-y Universal without the rides, sort of a villagey feel up there. There's hotels that people can stay. And then there's attractions and stuff. And then there's these hands. So we got some photos. I'll probably try and pop some in here of like us in the hands. That was really beautiful. For a spontaneous day trip, that was really great. And then after that, we drove to we flew from Hanoi or Da Nang to Ho Chi Minh City down south, and we had 3 days there. Had some really excellent food. The best pho I've ever eaten in my life was at a place in Ho Chi Minh City. And from there we went out to the Chu Chi Channels, and that was an interesting experience. My mum had said, I think you're going to be like too big to go in the tunnels, from her experience when she had been many years ago. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then when I got there, I was like, yeah, they let me go in, no worries. Turns out they had widened some of the tunnels so that tourists could have the experience, because Western bodies are much bigger than, you know, malnourished Vietnamese back in the war. So that was interesting. I wouldn't say it was fun. And then we went on saw a village in the Mekong, like on the south and southern Vietnamese part of the Mekong Delta. And then a 6-hour bus ride into Cambodia. So that was not so fun that day. I think I had bad tummy. Yeah, I ate a spring roll at breakfast. That was my downfall. It was no good. I'd had them the day before and it was fine. This time was no good. So anyway, that was touch and go for a bit, but anyway, ended up fine. And then we went into Cambodia and into Phnom Penh, and we were in Phnom Penh for a couple of days. In Phnom Penh, we saw the Sul 21 prison and the killing fields. I was particularly intrigued by Cambodia. I did a genocide course as part of my history degree back in 2013, I think, or 2014 is when I studied that. And so the genocide and everything that happened in Cambodia and how it happened and how people didn't know, etc., was very interesting to me. I was a little bit disappointed by the tour, but I think it was just like the information that the local guide was giving. Like I would have preferred probably to have the headset and been given like 2.5 hours to walk around the prison. And I expected to be more affected. From people I'd spoken to at the killing, who had been to the killing fields before, they were very like emotional. There was one video they show you at the beginning, which I'm pretty sure I cried in, which was very emotional. But then walking through the fields, I think I expected to feel how I did when I went to Auschwitz to Birkenau in 2022. And I didn't. But towards the end, you see, I can't remember, it looks like a pagoda, but it's actually like human remains, like skulls. And that was really the most impactful part, is like seeing the remains of the people who were murdered as part of this regime. And then there's like, as you walk through, it says like, you know, this skull has this dot and it means that this person died from this, from whatever. So I just feel like it was absolutely terrible, but I didn't feel as impacted as I thought that I was going to, and I was a bit surprised by that fact. But I would actually probably go back again so that I could go through and actually learn some more stuff. But I did buy a book about the history of the genocide and the Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge regime and whatnot. So if I read that, I'll probably get some more information and feel better. Not feel better, but like feel more how I expected to. From Phnom Penh, we went to Siem Reap. I loved Siem Reap. It was a really cool town. Like, it had great vibe. The vibe was great. The food was really delicious. And from there, we saw the Angkor Wat temple. Now, the town where, so Wat is like the name of temple, and Angkor is the place. So there are lots of Wats, but there is a main Angkor Wat temple, I guess, that you go to. So we went for sunrise, got some really lovely pictures there. I lost a hat that I'd bought, which was my favorite hat. I loved it. And then I ended up losing it at the temple that day. But a friend of mine was actually in Vietnam still. And I was like, if you find this hat, can you please buy me one, and I will pay you and I'll find you, and like on the coast, and I will get it off you, because I'm just irrationally attached to it. It had watermelons. It was really cute. I'll show you a picture. But yeah, so that was really wonderful to see. I'd wanted to see the temple for a really long time. It was beautiful, like just the architecture and the carvings and the stories, and how the difference between the rulers who were Buddhist and Hindu and whoever was in charge, what they did with the artifact. So the historian in me was like, this is really interesting. So I loved that. And then basically we had an 8-hour bus ride from Siem Reap to Bangkok. And it was long, but that's when I knit my, sorry folks, I had that's when I knit most of this second sock. I think I would had turned the heel before we left, and I knit the foot into the toe decreases, and I cast off and kitchened when I got home. So yeah, it was a fun trip. I'm really glad I went. It was 3 weeks, just shy of 3 weeks away from here. And I missed my cats terribly, I missed my family, but I was home in time for Christmas, and I had a really lovely Christmas and New Year. So yeah, that was great. I'm feeling really optimistic personally about 2024. I don't know how I felt at the beginning of last year, probably optimistic too, but I just feel this is just going to be a good year. I don't know what it means crafting wise. Hopefully 1 episode a month. I've got some loose plans which I'll talk about in the other video, but yeah, thank you. I think that kind of sums it up. I want to thank you for your patronage, for watching for this year. There were a couple of 2 monthly updates because life was hectic come September, October for me personally. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon.